This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 10th day of December in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. With the backing of the chairman of the Elections Commission, former GCOM Deputy Chief Election Officer Vishnu Prasad was selected today as the new Chief Election Officer of the Guyana Elections Commission. Prasad edged out Jamaican election official Leslie Harrow for the top GCOM job. GCOM Chairman retired Justice Claudette Singh cast the deciding vote at today's meeting of the Commission, handing the job to Prasad, who spent 17 years at the Commission in a number of positions. The opposition-nominated members of the Commission were against the hiring of Prasad, pointing to his lack of experience and insufficient qualification for the post. But he received the full backing of the government-nominated members of the Elections Commission and the chairman. In a statement defending her decision to vote for Prasad to be given the job, the GCOM chairman, Justice Claudette Singh, said the decision came after listening to the commissioners and reading the endorsement and recommendation for Prasad by former GCOM chairman Dr. Steve Sorge-Bally. The GCOM chair said Mr. Prasad has acquired institutional knowledge, having been employed with GCOM for 17 years. And during his tenure at the commission, he held the posts of Public Relations Officer, Deputy Chief Election Officer for 3 years, and acted as Chief Election Officer on several occasions. Justice Singh said Prasad is knowledgeable not only with the understanding and management of the work of the Chief Election Officer's office, but the operational functions of the Secretariat, but also with the geography of Guyana's 10 administrative regions. She said she had no hesitation in endorsing his appointment, since he has necessary skills, experience, and expertise that she believes makes him eminently qualified to handle the job. Prasad could start his job as Chief Election Officer as early as next week. More news coming up in just a moment.
I'm feeling it! You know it? That Christmassy feeling? Friend, I'm ready for everything. All the decorations and lights. Bring on all the Christmas goodness. And I heard GTT is giving away millions in cash and prizes for the season. It just doesn't get any better. Multiple draws, multiple chances to win, live radio giveaways of cash, grocery vouchers, phone credit, and more. Free data, free calls, and free accessories with the purchase of every handset. Sign up, top up, pay any GTT bill or purchase a handset to get a chance to celebrate with GTT and MMG. Together we celebrate, together we win. GTT, together we rise.
The light on your face, no mask will hide.
Feel the joy burn deep inside.
Let's have a great Christmas this year.
You, me, and Republic Bank, my dear.
Whatever you need, light up your Christmas with Republic Bank and get a chance to win $825,000 in cash prizes. Plus, get a chance to give a family a Christmas hamper in your name. Log on to republicguyana.com for more details. Let's light up Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Do you have a business and want to reach more customers? Then sell on Fazaro.com. Sign up is easy and free. Take advantage of our site traffic, online payment processing, delivery service, and much more. Grow your business today. Fazaro, Guyana's premier e-commerce marketplace.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
GBTI, make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Welcome back. Hours after the Guyana Elections Commission announced the selection of Vishnu Prasad for the position of Chief Election Officer, Opposition Leader Joe Harman said the GCOM chairman, retired Justice Claudette Singh, has once again changed requirements to suit a particular decision. Mr. Harman said the chairman has ignored the requirements set out by the commission itself for the position and has based her decision to support the hiring of Prasad on his knowledge of the commission's operations and the 10 regions of Guyana.
If working at GCOM for some years and knowing the geography of Guyana, Guyana's 10 administrative regions were the prerequisites for this position, then GCOM should have said so publicly. The chairman of GCOM yet again shifted the goalpost and changed the rules of the game to suit the People's Progressive Party. The chairman of GCOM has shown that she cannot be impartial and is willing to continue to use her position to further place the entire GCOM into a tenuous position. Guyanese confidence in GCOM has been struck another blow by this political decision by the chairman of the Elections Commission.
Over 20 persons applied for the Chief Election Officer's job. The commissioners were asked to shortlist their choices from the field, and that was broken down to 6 applicants. The commissioners further reduced the field of applicants, bringing it down to Prasad, who served the commission previously as Public Relations Officer, then Deputy CEO, and the former Jamaican election official. The opposition-nominated commissioners have always maintained that based on the requirements for the job that the commission itself approved, Prasad should not have even been considered in the running for the top position. Opposition Leader Joe Harman said the APNU-AFC coalition disapproves of the hiring of Vishnu Prasad for the post.
I wish to state explicitly that the APNU-AFC coalition strongly disapproves of the actions of the chairman in Mr. Prasad's appointment as GCOM's new Chief Elections Officer, as he is not the best person qualified and competent for the job. In the circumstance, we wish to put on notice that Mr. Prasad, in the performance of his duties, will be held to the standards of fairness, non-partisan, unbiased, and transparent decision making. That will be the stand by which he will be judged by us.
The opposition had been pushing for an independent team to conduct the interviews for the top GCOM spot and make recommendations to the commission. But that suggestion was shut down by the chairman of the commission and the PP Civic nominated commissioners. Prasad is expected to begin his work at the commission as early as next week. The 3 opposition-nominated members of the Guyana Elections Commission this afternoon distanced themselves from the Commission's decision to hire Vishnu Prasad as the new Chief Election Officer. Prasad previously served the Guyana Elections Commission as Public Relations Officer, then as a Deputy Chief Election Officer. Commissioners Vincent Alexander, Charles Corbin, and Desmond Trotman said Prasad never met the requirements for the job and therefore should not have been hired. The commissioners said the hiring of Prasad was deeply flawed.
The chairperson, in making her decision, relied on the testimonial provided by the previous chairperson. That gives credence to the contention that the entire process was a travesty. Mr. Prasad joined the GCOM in 2001 as a Public Relations Officer at the invitation of Dr. Suraj Bali.
As we reported in defending her decision to support the hiring of Vishnu Prasad and voting along with the government-nominated commissioners, GCOM Chairman Justice Claudette Singh said Prasad had gathered enough experience at GCOM to land the job. The opposition-nominated commissioners do not believe that's good enough.
Mr. Prasad, when he became the DCU in the first instance, provided certification for a level 5 in the British qualification framework, which is not equivalent to a degree. You can Google and see that in the British qualification framework, and therefore, even at that time, was not qualified for the job of DCU.
The new CEO worked along with the Private Sector Commission during the last elections, assisting the PSC with its preparations to observe the elections. While Vice President Bharat Jagdeo used part of his speech at the Chamber of Commerce Awards ceremony last evening to call out the group of Guyanese who have filed a constitutional climate case to challenge the massive oil production taking place offshore Guyana on the grounds that it exacerbates global warming and threatens human rights. The applicants in that case claim that the oil production taking place offshore Guyana violates the government's legal duty to protect the rights to a healthy environment, sustainable development, and the rights of future generations. But the Vice President said the group may only be pushing the view of some in the developed world.
But we have here a group of people who believe, who often, they're well-intentioned. They want to see things done in a sustainable way, but unwittingly, I believe, they're pushing the prejudices of the developed world.
Vice President Jagdeo said while there are calls in Guyana to halt oil production, there are also calls by many developed countries to intensify oil production in light of the current oil prices and market trends.
And this is where our local NGOs have to join us in the fight. They believe here in Guyana that they've lost this sense of justice in the whole entire climate negotiation.
Mr. Jagdeo questioned why Guyana must not produce its resources when it is poised to become one of the top oil producers in decades to come.
The developed world has done its bit. And so our local NGOs, often financed by other NGOs that want to keep us poor, they unwittingly go and it looks as though we are the worst offenders. We're the biggest sources of climate change here in Guyana.
According to the Vice President, the government will not deter from its responsibility of protecting the rights of citizens and the environment while also embracing the oil economy. Let's tell you now that as ExxonMobil looks to ramp up and expand its operations in Guyana, President of ExxonMobil Guyana, Alastair Routledge, has announced that the company has now moved all of its supply chain services from neighboring Trinidad and Tobago to Guyana. That decision has resulted in additional jobs being created for Guyanese in the sector. Mr. Routledge made the announcement last evening while addressing the awards ceremony of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
This has created opportunities for the Guyanese private sector, whether it is to build out the shore bases, warehousing, waste treatment facilities, or indeed as we look forward to the projects to come. As part of the Yellowtail project, we also plan to invest in a project shore base that will enable an increase in fabrication and load-out activities in Guyana.
Guyana started oil production 2 years ago, and since then, scores of new companies have been established to cater to the needs of the oil industry. The Exxon CEO said the foundation set by the company goes well beyond the company. He noted that all the well-established oil and gas companies in the world now have a presence in Guyana and have steadily been moving their activities from the US, Brazil, and Trinidad and Tobago to Guyana. According to Routledge, apart from benefiting from all the oil revenues, Guyanese should also play an active role in developing the resource.
To date, there are more than 3,200 Guyanese working on our operations and more than 800 local suppliers, with whom we have spent more than $540 million since 2015. The revenues generated by these projects and workforce, as well as the related economic activity, is a key component of planning for the private sector companies.
And the Exxon CEO also said that while the government has a critical role to play in managing the country's oil and gas sector, it is up to the private sector to take the lead. He noted that before that can happen, there must be heavy investment in education so that persons can maximize what the sector has to offer. Already facing losses of over $5 billion annually through electricity theft, the Guyana Power and Light Company is trying to find new ways to address the problem. Company officials have complained that the problem of electricity theft has been worsening and continues to impact the company's finances. In an attempt to address loss reduction in Guyana, the power company recently consulted with a group of Latin American experts who were stunned by the level of electricity theft in the country.
We brought in experts from many of the Latin American countries that are dealing with this problem. We had a team of experts, about 6 experts, that were undertaking a huge loss reduction project in the Dominican Republic. Over 600 million US was being expended on loss reduction. We took all their advice. We actually embarked on a massive loss reduction program, as you know, the power utility upgrade program, which is winding up now. Most of the resources, about 40 million US, was targeted on network upgrade, metering upgrade, to deal with technical and non-technical losses. So the experts who were here, they basically contended at the end that they've never come across a country quite like Guyana when it comes to electricity theft.
GPL's Chief Executive Officer Barrett Dindial. Mr. Dindial admitted that the problem persists even with the company's best efforts to address it. The official also complained that the company is even facing the theft and destruction of its equipment, especially whenever it launches disconnection campaigns. The official said it is a national problem that needs a national response.
It calls for, I think, across the board culture change. Policing this has not been successful. We have thousands of people who have been caught who are in the courts. Matters are languishing because we can't dispense with 3,000-4,000 cases. There is nothing that we can do on our side. Maybe we have employed, quiet coercion. We have done public education. We have appealed. We have brought technology to bear. But what we have is not a change in attitude.
The power company is now looking to launch a training program to ensure its legal department and staff members are better prepared for court matters and the prosecution of cases related to electricity theft. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
I'm feeling it! You know it? That Christmassy feeling? Friend, I'm ready for everything. All the decorations and lights. Bring on on all the Christmas goodness. And I heard GTT is giving away millions in cash and prizes for the season. It just doesn't get any better. Multiple draws, multiple chances to win, live radio giveaways of cash, grocery vouchers, phone credit, and more. Free data, free calls, and free accessories with the purchase of every handset. Sign up, top up, pay any GTT bill, or purchase a handset to get a chance to celebrate with GTT and MMG. Together we celebrate, together we win. GTT, together we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Prime Minister of Jamaica Andrew Holness is promising that the issue of the country's future constitutional status will be addressed shortly, even as he warned that there must not be empty symbolism moving forward. In recent days, Jamaicans have raised the issue of the island replacing Britain's Queen Elizabeth as the head of state, and following CARICOM community countries like Barbados, Guyana, Dominica, and Trinidad and Tobago. 2 weeks ago, Barbados cut ties with the British monarchy as the head of state. Former Jamaican Prime Minister P.J. Patterson has said that the removal of the Queen as the head of state cannot wait on any full review of the Constitution. Patterson, who served as the island's Prime Minister from 1992 to 2006, has written to the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition in Jamaica, urging them to swiftly begin the process for removal of the Queen as Jamaica prepares to celebrate its 60th year of independence. But addressing the issue recently, the Prime Minister said as Jamaica approaches its 60th anniversary of independence, there has been a lot of discussions on the issue, and he believes the questions raised will be answered shortly. In Mexico, at least 54 people were killed and scores more injured after the truck they were traveling in crashed in southern Mexico. More than 150 people, said to be migrants from Central America, were crammed into the truck's trailer when it toppled. The BBC reports that pictures showed victims strewn across the road next to the overturned truck. The impact of the crash broke the container in half and ripped off its roof. Residents offered crash survivors water and mobile phones to contact their relatives. It is one of the worst accidents of its kind in Mexico. 49 people were confirmed dead at the scene and 5 more died in the hospital. And finally tonight, international news. The BBC reports that 2 doses of a COVID vaccine are not enough to stop you catching the Omicron variant, UK scientists have warned. Earlier analysis of the UK Omicron and Delta cases showed the vaccines were less effective at stopping the new variant. But the third booster prevents around 75% of people getting any COVID symptom. Meanwhile, Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove, who chaired a meeting with First Ministers of the dissolved nations this afternoon, warned that the UK faces a deeply concerning situation. Speaking after a meeting of the government's emergency committee, the official said measures taken so far were proportionate, but ministers were absolutely keeping everything under review. So far, the UK has reported 448 cases of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for today and this week. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.